All right. Welcome, one and all, to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I am your host, John. And if you could, kindly hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. And, we're kind of in the middle of summer. Not really a lot going on. We're kind of in the dog days. Not really. August really gets to be the dog days. And I'm going to be doing a podcast. You're going to see it with Brian. We're going to talk about some interesting things that came up with Mike Trout. I'm kind of interested to see what Brian's take is on it. I hate to admit it, but he's a lot smarter than I am when it comes to baseball. Hey, don't hate, okay? Don't hate. And Mike Trout is one RBI away from 1,000. And honestly, as being a Southern California fan, being in this area, I would have thought he would have passed that a long time ago. It's kind of surprising. He's almost at 400 home runs. And I know he's had a lot of injuries the last 5 years, but gee, you think of the big sluggers as just averaging 100 RBIs a year, and he's not there yet. I don't know, it just seemed a little odd. You might want to go to the podcast with Brian. We'll talk about that a little more. Let's go basically over what the bigger stories were in the world of sports. The Packers, being the only publicly owned football team in the NFL, announced that they had received $432 million as their part of revenue sharing from the NFL. Most of this from broadcasting. They do keep some local revenue to them from themselves. I believe it went from 65 to 90 million. And it tells you that the NFL generated over $13 billion last year. The collective bargaining agreement is set till 2030, but they're going to reopen it because they want to go to an 18th game, and you have to reopen it for something that drastic. And we are going to see, and also something else that you should be cognizant of, maybe you are, maybe you're not, is CBS and Paramount are being sold to Skydance. One of the stipulations in the TV contract is if you are sold, your corporation is sold, you have to renegotiate the contract. Brilliant. Brilliant by the NFL. That deal is going to be coming up for renewal, and we are going to see if they're going to peel away more games to Netflix or Amazon or some other entity that has yet, maybe Apple. I don't know. It will be interesting to see what will unfold with that. And it's a story nobody's really talking about. And the reason is because the merger hasn't went through. There's a lot of rumors about what's going on. It should have been approved about 8, 9 months ago at the end of the Biden administration, but they had other things to do. The Trump administration has held it up. A lot of rumors on exactly why that is, but this isn't a political podcast. You can go over to the other one there if you want to hear what I have to say about that. But the NFL is an incredibly efficient organization, and we can't get enough of football. It's the only thing that, besides basketball, that keeps that vaunted 24 to 54 demographic going, which the advertisers crave. And I wonder, as we see all the bedlam going on in the NFLPA, and literally, they need to clean house. Those guys are idiots. They are either evil or incompetent or both. JC Trotter is out there at all the shows now. He's trying to say, I didn't know nothing. That wasn't my job. You're the chief strategy officer for the NFLPA. You should have known about the collusion agreement. The biggest lawsuit you've had, literally, I believe that was the last lawsuit from D. Smith. You, as the chief strategy officer, cannot be the ostrich and put your head in the sand and say, hey, man, that wasn't part of my thing. Really? Really? Huh. You are literally the second in command at the NFLPA, and you didn't know what the ruling was. And if that is true, when you found out a month ago, how come you didn't resign? Because they didn't tell you. I mean, really, the guy is talking out both sides of his mouth. And that is the problem. I think for the NFLPA, I think that personally, I mean, it's such a difficult thing, but you need somebody who negotiates all the time, and you need somebody who's going to be adversarial. I mean, you look back on it, they got rid of D. Smith because they said he was too confrontational with the owners. Yeah, how's that working out? How's that Lloyd Howe thing working out? Oh yeah, I'm all down with more football. Oh, idiot. The vetting process. Oh, he works for the Carlisle Group on as a side hustle. The $3.6 million you make a year isn't enough. Okay. Yeah, all right. I tell you something. I'm a union member. I love unions, but the players in the NFL, they should have hired Donald Fear. They should look over at baseball and get one of their guys because even though baseball's union is kind of fading away, they're eminently the best run sports union there is. I know hockey came a long way under Donald Fear, but whatever. Let's get to the world of baseball. I really don't want to talk about Brittany Grenier. Uh, I got to tell you, I'm gonna do a little rift here. The WNBA has not made any money in its history. It's been a money losing venture. This year, because of Caitlin Clark, they started to take chartered flights. They don't have to be in the baggage claim. There was the picture earlier this year of Caitlin Clark in Dallas Fort Worth Airport waiting for her luggage with everybody else, with me. And I think that's a good thing. The league is getting a lot more notoriety. It's getting better ratings. It has a new TV contract. But to see the players at the All Star game last weekend and wearing T-shirts, "Pay us what you owe us," I just think that's such a difficult thing. Uh, the the problem it makes you come off as spoiled, entitled athletes. And women are held to a different standard than men. If men did that, they'd be tough, they'd be negotiator. If it's women, the misogyny comes out and it's their spoiled little princesses. And I don't understand why they just didn't let their negotiator, maybe they have the same negotiators the NFLPA does. God bless them. Good luck. You're in trouble. You're going to be washing dishes at the end of the night in the arena, honey. That's really what's coming if you have the NFLPA negotiators. But I thought the optics were so terrible, and they think they want to make NBA money. And the truth is, I've watched the games. They're not that good. They aren't. They're not as good as college basketball. And look, they don't have to be. They don't have to be. They just have to be in their own thing. But at the end of the day, it's a free market system. If they start selling out arenas, hey, maybe you will be able to get that kind of cash. Let's do a revenue sharing. That'll just, let's put it like that. It just came off to me. This is a situation, this is a real important CBA for them. And they're going to hopefully achieve a lot of things. I am pro player all the time. I don't care if it's men, women. I don't really care what it is. I want to see the athlete get as much money as they possibly can. I just think the optics of this were terrible. I think they portrayed them as spoiled princesses. I don't think Angela Reese is funny. I don't know, Caitlin Clark stood in solidarity with the rest of the league, and I appreciate that. I do think you do have to be formidable. You do have to be in line. You do have to act as one. But man, this is the wrong goddamn message. I mean, I just don't understand the entitlement that comes with that. But okay, we shall see how the negotiations continue. All right, let's get to the MLB for Wednesday, July 23rd, and let's just go through it. We'll talk about it as we get to the issue. The Reds shut out the Nationals 5-0. Lodolo got the win. The Nationals, God, they're 20 games under 500. They're 21-31 at home. I just really thought James Wood, Josiah Gray, I thought they were going to have a better year. I don't know. I don't know if there's hope coming for them. I really have always admired this franchise. They came from Montreal. they actually achieved quite a cachet in the league. You know, they signed Max Scherzer as a pitcher, which I think would probably be the best free agent pitcher signing ever in the history of baseball. And they had Juan Soto. They brought him up. I mean, they had a lot of really good players. Zimmerman, you know, and they won a World Series. Were really competitive, and now it seems like after they won the World Series and Strasburg was such a monster, and they signed him to that big deal, and he really never pitched again. That was the end of it. It seemed like that was the beginning. That was the gazoo. That was the bad luck that haunted them up until this day. The Marlins beat the Padres 3-2, and God, Alcantara was on fire. That guy just ripped it up, and I am happy. I love to see this guy come back. It's interesting to see if he has a couple good starts before the trade deadline, what kind of value he will fetch. And damn it, I love the Padres, but man, you got a chance to move on the Dodgers, and what the hell are you doing? You're going into Florida, and you're just, I don't know. Cease is supposedly on the trading deadline, on the trading block. He is 3-10 with a 4.5 ERA. If I would, I will say this: last year I saw Dylan Cease 7 or 8 times, and I thought he literally had as electric stuff of anybody in the league. I literally, for a part of last year, thought he was a worthy Cy Young candidate. Guy was just throwing darts. I mean, this guy was throwing 99 without even breaking a sweat. I don't understand what's happened to him. Obviously, the league caught up to him. The Giants smashed up the Braves. Devers, 2 home runs. Let's get fat on the Braves because everybody does. We'll see how that goes. We're going to get to this. Detroit rolled into Pittsburgh for a 3-game series and walked out with 0 wins. They lose 6-1. Falter gets the win. Melton gets the loss for the Tigers. Tigers only managed 5 hits against them, and since the All-Star break, they only have 1 win, and that was the great Skubal. So, yeah, I think we got to start really revving it up. Okay, let's get to the Mets. They swept the Angels 6-3 in a daylight matinee in Shea. City Field, sorry. I always still call it Shea. Angels only got 5 hits. Manica got the win. Eder got the loss. You know, I look at the Angels, and obviously they're my home team here in Los Angeles, and they try to win. I don't understand what is missing. I mean, I know what's missing. They don't have frontline pitching, but geez, you know, sometimes they'll go through a 6-game run. They'll go 4-2, 5-1, and then they'll right on top of that they'll be 0-6. And I guess that's really not having a number 1 starter in Anaheim. I think that's a big part of the problem. Rockies get their first shutout in 221 games, beat the Cardinals 6-0. Gordon for the Rockies, get your win. And I'm telling you, the Rockies are playing some very good baseball since the All-Star break. I don't know if they went and got some EPO. I don't know if they got some PEDs. I don't know what they did, but they're playing some damn good baseball. Brewers beat the Mariners 10-2. The Brewers are still bloody red hot. Yeah, the winning streak got broken yesterday on a 1-0 loss, but boy, they are just killing it. Priester beat Castillo. Twins lost a heartbreaker to the Dodgers. They were winning 3-2 in the ninth. 2 outs. Dodgers, Freeman gets a hit, 2-run score, 4-3. That's your final. And I will say this, the Dodgers, their relief corps, man, they are in some big trouble. I don't understand how they are having so many injuries with their pitching. You know they have state-of-the-art stuff in terms of, you know, nutrition, science, doctors, everything. I just don't understand why everybody is getting hurt on the Dodgers. Guardians beat the Orioles 3-2. Gaddis got your win. Yeah, 1-1. Yeah, right. Welcome to the thing. In a game I was very interested in, Red Sox, who have just literally done the Thelma and Louise off the cliff since the All-Star break, came back in 11, win 9-8. Aroldis Chapman has been on fire. They were up 6-5 in the eighth. He gave up a solo bomb, and all I could say is we won one against the Cubs, lost two. We won one against the Phillies, lost two. Now the Dodgers are rolling in. God, this is just going to go great. The Blue Jays, they keep doing it. I don't know how, don't know why, but man, they beat the Yankees 8-4. Bassett gets the win. He's 11-4. If I would have said, man, tell me all the guys you think have 11 wins, I don't think Bassett's name would be coming up. White Sox beat the Rays 11-9. Athletics lost to the Rangers 2-1. And I am telling you right now, I'm watching this. The Rangers are catching fire. They are catching on fire. They were 5 games under 3 weeks ago. Now they're 3 games over. Yeah, I know. Blah, blah, blah. Mark it down. They're going to win this division. I know they're 6-7 games behind Houston, but man, I'm telling you, these guys are on fire. They're like me on the dance floor. Yeah, that kind of fire. That kind of fire, man. That's the way we roll. If you could, though, hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Leave some comments, and we'll see you soon on Off the Rails Sports Podcast.